woke up like 10 minutes before my alarm because mail was delivered. I didn't know what it was because I didn't receive an email that it shipped. It's this black hoodie, which seems kind of silly, but this is a crew neck. It's this one. This is Duncan Robinson's merch. He plays on the Miami Heat. He's my favorite player at the moment, and sadly, they lost to the Lakers last night, but they still came a really long way, and I still really like the Miami Heat. But for today, I'm doing a buddy read for the first time ever with Sato from the channel Sato, and I'm really excited. This is my first ever buddy read, and I just put it out into the universe, tweeted it that I'd never done one and I'm kind of itching to do one, and she replied that she would do it with me, and we immediately just came to the conclusion that we wanted to pick this book, which is House in the Cerulean Sea by Klune. It's a very popular book. She started it over the weekend and she said that she really enjoys it so far. She's listening it via audiobook. I know that it's a magical realism book, which I'm a little bit worried about, but it's gotten such high reviews. I feel like I can overlook that. I know it's following magical children and their caseworker, rather, Linus Baker, and he works in the department in charge of magical youth. Linus has like some sort of romance, but I don't know specifically, just what I've heard about it. So this is the book that I'm hoping to get through this week. Maybe another book, but I haven't yet decided what that one will be. I worked this morning and I made a tea and coffee concoction. It's usually with black tea, but I've only gotten that to work twice and it didn't work today. During work, like right at the beginning of the morning, I went out to send out a Depop order because yesterday was Indigenous Peoples Day and the post office observes that day, so it was closed. I got to reading about 70 pages of this book. It's really cute. Linus, he works for the department in charge of magical youth, and he's a human cat. He's kind of a lonely guy, has a mean cat named Calliope. He's been summoned by upper management to go on a classified assignment. He must go to an orphanage on an island to determine whether 6 dangerous magical children are so dangerous, in fact, that they're likely to bring about the end of days. So he's assessing the children, as is his job. He's also meeting like the master of the orphanage named Arthur, and all of these creatures, these magical little children. They're all really interesting. One of them is a species related to a jellyfish who wants to be a bellhop and is so adorable. One is a boy who turns into a Pomeranian when he gets really frightened. One is nicknamed Lucy, or Lucifer, who is the Antichrist, which I think is like so funny. I just really like his humor. He's kind of evil. Well, obviously, but he's 6 years old. I feel like you can't take it too seriously, and his humor is the kind of humor that I think is funny and sort of endearing. The children are really cute, but Linus is definitely a little bit in over his head. I'm like 138 pages in. I'm really glad that I'm doing this as a buddy read. Right now, I have some Japanese pizza chips, or pizza flavored chips, and I'm watching YouTube right now, but I didn't get to do a lot of reading yesterday, so I do want to get to a lot more reading today. It's much later in the day right now. I am doing some journaling right now after my work. I had some warm matcha with that. I ate a little bit of yogurt for breakfast, and I uploaded a new video if you haven't watched it. It is up here. It is how to style leather pants. I jumped on that trend and it's probably my favorites of fall 2020. Currently, I finished dinner and I'm on collection 5 of Bake Off. I'm kind of decorating my bullet journal with these little bat pieces that I have, just little Halloween sort of pieces that I have. And I haven't done any reading today. However, it's almost 8 p.m. and I think after this episode, I have like 20 minutes left. I'm gonna shower to tuck myself into bed early to read my book and create like a really cozy feel, because I do want to get an early start tomorrow. It's like 9:20. I'm already ready for bed. I had some issues with my candle because the match wasn't lighting, and then when I lit it with the lighter, there was a whole problem. Now there's like broken pieces of a match in my candle, so that's fun. I'm going to continue reading The House in the Cerulean Sea. So far it is just really cute. I have a nice fire going on from Netflix, which I've never used before. I've only ever seen people use it in their vlogs, and a candle burning, and hopefully I can get a good chunk of reading done for today. Laptop's about to die and the fireplace episode is about to end, but I found this really sweet part that I wanted to read. The kids are now on the island for their day out, and the people in the village do not like the children. They think they're abominations, and there's a lot of hate that goes on. In response, one of the kids, he turns into a Pomeranian when he gets really scared, and so Linus is telling him it's not fair the way some people can be, but as long as you remember to be just and kind like I know you are, what those people think won't matter in the long run. Hate is loud, but I think you'll learn it's because it's only a few people shouting, desperate to be heard. You might not ever be able to change their minds, but so long as you remember you're not alone, you will overcome. Linus, he had kind of the viewpoint of the villagers, and he was unsure because he's a human being. He's not the same species as these children, but these children, he's living with them and he's seeing their personalities and how they're so cute and they're so funny and they have real personalities. They're children, like they're not anything to be afraid of, and I'm almost done with it, but I'm trying to savor it. And I don't know if I should like stop here right before page 15, chapter 15, and like start something else or what, but I love this so far. Today, interestingly. I thought I could put in the almond milk to make it sweet on its own, but I have too much of a sweet tooth. It didn't work. But as you saw last night, I finished this book. Wow. Shauna Maguire's right. This book is very close to perfect. Or it just might be. I really don't have any complaints. I mean, no, it's YA. So I think it's YA. But from the very beginning, the book was very beautifully told. The writing I enjoyed so much. Like Linus, you're kind of wary of the children at first, but they have their own personalities and they are so funny. They just want to be loved and heard, and I think that message told throughout this entire book of people who are different and learning to accept them was so well done. I think that can speak volumes, especially in today's climate where everyone is so quick to judge someone who is different from them, and you immediately have this hatred towards them, and it's because that's taught, it's because that's what they know, but they could take the time to understand, and I feel like shows like Queer Eye help to do that as well, and that's why people love it so much, and that's what like it makes it a tearjerker. I thought I would cry reading this. There were a couple moments where I got a little bit teary-eyed, and you know, especially since I'm on my period, I thought I would be crying. I didn't, but still I thoroughly enjoyed this from the beginning to the end. This was beautiful. I get why people like it, and you know, if you are unsure of how you might feel about the book, go into it zero expectations like I did, and I think that'll make it for a better experience because, you know, you're literally not expecting anything out of this book. I fell in love with the children. Let me know who your favorite child is, because I'm trying to think, because Lucy's humor, he's so funny, he's so cute, and he's like 6 years old, and when he has those moments of vulnerability, it really reminds you of that. Chauncey, his little bellhop ways, and Sal, he came through so much, and Talia kind of grows on you. She's a tough little gnome, but she grows on you. This is 5 perfect stars for this book. This book is so beautiful. I get why it's hyped. Oh my god, I really sorry to Sato because I'm gonna message her that I finished it already because I just couldn't put it down last night. I was like, maybe I should stop here, but I had to keep going. It was so good. I'm gonna finish up my coffee. I don't want to start reading right away. Maybe I will just get into my bullet journal for right now. It's such a cloudy, rainy day today that I have to have my desk light on. I am going to start a new podcast, Lindsay Hughes podcast. I've recently been trying out some new podcasts from YouTubers that I watch. I use the podcast app. I really only listen to My Favorite Murder. That's my all-time favorite. It's a true crime comedy podcast. It's really hard to beat. I'll listen to some other true crime podcasts here and there, but that's the only one that I'm like subscribed to and I listen to all the time. But oddly enough, podcasts that I'm giving a try, I'm listening to on Spotify, which is really weird. So I'm listening to Lindsay's now, and then I'm going to give Megan's a try. I've watched them both for years, but I've never listened to their podcast before and just really randomly wanted to. And then I'm going to start a letter. I did thank her for my birthday card at the end of August, but I didn't thank her in a letter, and I absolutely love writing letters. So I'm gonna write her a cute little note. I know her work is really busy right now, so I just want to talk to her, make sure she's feeling good. I don't know why I keep ending up here because I'm sitting on the coffee table instead of like over there. Yesterday, I only got one clip. My boyfriend and I met up at Penn Station. We walked down to the West Village to have some lunch, walked back up towards Penn Station to go to the Sephora up there because what I wanted was only in stock there. Turns out they're out of stock, sold out. And then we walked to Tudor City to take some photos. We went to Times Square to possibly go to Krispy Kreme, and then we walked down to Penn Station and parted ways. My feet are still a little sore. Actually, it's more like my legs now that are sore because we did so much walking. And yesterday I started my new book, Leave the World Behind by Rumaan. This is my book of the month pick for October, and it's shorter than I thought it would be. I read up to 118 pages last night, kind of halfway actually. It sort of reminded me of not necessarily Get Out, but a little bit maybe of Us. Amanda and Clay and their two teenage kids take a vacation into Long Island, and they're pretty far out, so service is really bad, and they're just enjoying summer by the beach. And one night, two elderly people, an elderly black couple, arrive at the home, and they're like, hey, this is our home. There's a blackout in the city, and we didn't want to walk up 14 flights of stairs into our apartment, and we wanted to check in on you guys as well. We'll pay you like $1,000 back. Can we stay in like the guest suite while you spend time here? And Amanda is a little bit unsure. They don't know who to believe because service is really bad, so they don't know what's happening in New York City. So it says it's a suspenseful and provocative novel, keenly attuned to the complexities of parenthood, race, and class. The writing style is really interesting. I can't put a finger on it, but it's sort of too showy and not telling, or it's too telling and not showy rather. I don't see it being suspenseful so far, but they are unwary of each other. Amanda kind of has like these sort of racist moments, but she's like, is this racist? I'm not sure. It doesn't have like a set perspective. I mean, sometimes it changes between the four adults or even the children, so it's very weird. But right now I have a warm cup of tea today, and I feel like this vlog is such a flop, but it's Sunday, so I do want to finish this book, and hopefully I can vlog a decent amount today. So I've had lunch and I had a delivery as well. What arrived was this stylus pen, so I'm hoping that I can include my handwriting in my videos now, which is really fun. And then I got a silk scarf to wrap my hair in. I discovered Mains by Mel, and my hair is actually wavy, but I don't know how to take care of it or the products to use, so I just got the stuff that she recommended. We did order from Sephora last night as well, since everything was sold out in store. And then I got a diffuser attachment. Hopefully everything works out. Right now I'm going to journal and continue watching Bake Off. I'm on collection 5 episode 8, so it is the quarterfinals. This is 2 stars. I was just so confused. I don't think it's a thriller at all, and I saw that many people who read this as well read it more as a literary fiction novel. It's just confusing. I have no idea what is so thrilling, like what I should be scared of. Just very strange. I wouldn't say it was scary at all. We're reading Amanda and Clay's thoughts, which can be a little bit racist or classist even. The relationship there is very strange because they want to get along because they're staying in the same house, but also not, and they judge each other. I just didn't really understand what was going on, and I'm really disappointed because I was stuck between this book and another book for book of the month, and Roxanne Gay actually gave this one 5 stars, so I thought it would be amazing, but it's a 2-star for me. I journaled for almost 4 hours because I was doing it in like hand lettering cursive type thing so I could use it in the background of my Bookstagram photo. So it took a while, but I was also distracted by like YouTube and Bake Off, so I'm watching the final now. And I have a taco bowl. So we had tacos last night but no shells, so my mom made rice today, so I have rice at the bottom. It's a lot of sour cream, but I love a good taco bowl. I love tacos. It's all broken down. It looks like a lot, but it's gonna be really good, and I'm really hungry, so it's fine. I ended up just eating my dinner. I finished Bake Off and wanted to start a new show, so I started Sex Education. I'm in the middle of episode 4. I'm almost done with it, but I do need to get to bed. So this has been a weird vlog, but I did read 2 books. So I read The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune and gave it 5 beautiful, beautiful stars. And I also read Leave the World Behind by Rumaan. I'm really, really glad that Sato and I read this for our buddy read. She is still finishing up, but this book is so sweet. I do highly, highly recommend this. If you're like a little afraid of the hype, it's okay. You should still read this book because it's beautifully written and it's so worth it. I will see you next week. Give this a big thumbs up if you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye.